What is up guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Morgan, and if you're new, make sure you subscribe and turn on my post notifications to see my videos every so often and my YouTube shorts every single day. So in today's video, I am doing what's on my iPhone 17 Pro, because I promised in my unboxing last week that I would do an updated what's on my iPhone video, so I can tell you how I'm finding the new phone, everything I've done to customize it with iOS 26, and just in general all the apps I love and use. So let's get into the video. Whoosh. Really conveniently, I actually planned to film this video today, and my Casetify case arrived today as well. Usually when looking for phone cases for my phone, I scroll through the Casetify website, I look through almost every single phone case, there's thousands on there. I add a bunch to my cart, then I go through them and narrow it down to the one that I want to choose. So for this one, I've chosen this groovy pattern phone case, which I think is super cute. I've done the pink borders as well. Not sponsored, but I really love Casetify cases. My 15 Pro and my 15 had Casetify cases. My iPhone 13 before that had a Casetify case. I drop my phone all the time, never cracked one with these cases. They are fantastic and they look really cute. Obviously I've chosen the silver iPhone 17 Pro because it's the one that goes with the most things. Also from Casetify, I actually got this phone charm, but it's a little bit too long for my phone, so I don't think I'm going to use it, which is really unfortunate because I do like phone charms. I might put this on my 15 Pro. I might find another use for it. It is the Disney Princess one, which I thought was very cute. So starting off, I'm going to move to the side a little bit. So starting off with my lock screen, this is my wonderful little aesthetic lock screen that I've chosen. So I actually made this on Canva. I got the little background from Pinterest, which is the book with the bows and the kisses on it. And then I've actually added a photo of me over the top using a little template that I found on there. And I've also added the little music bar underneath as well, which has Blow Me One Last Kiss by Pink, which I thought matched the lock screen. I put the text in and chose that song myself and just typed it in. So that is my phone wallpaper, and then I've gone ahead and I've customized my lock screen. Here I'm going to hold it down so you can go and see the customized options. So this was my previous lock screen here, and then with iOS 26 I've customized it like this. Up top I've done the date and the weather, so it tells me it's 25 degrees and sunny here right now. You can organize this in any way you want. There's a bunch of widgets that you can choose to put on your lock screen. These are just the ones that I've chosen. And then next I've got the time, which you can actually, this is an iOS 26 thing, I've seen it all over my TikTok For You page, customizing the time. So I've done that so you can pull it down to be just above where my little photo ends. And something I learned, because it took me a few days to work this out, is you can only use the first font choice for the extended time. So you go to the first one and then you can drag it down to be as big as you want. And you can also change the color and have it as a glass look or a solid look. So I've chosen the glass look for mine. And then down the bottom of my lock screen I have 4 little widgets. So I have the Spotify symbol, I have my AirPods, I have TikTok, and I have Snapchat, which is just quick to open little widgets. And I keep that actually down the bottom so that I can have the time in a bigger size. And then I also have torch and camera, which you can place in the little 2 bottom corners. You can also do it so it all matches. So you can do black and white, you can do duotone, you can do color wash, but I've just kept it as the natural setting. And that is my lock screen. Going into my home screen, here is the first page. So up top I have a little medium widget which has the date, the time, and my phone battery on it. I've done this using the app color widget. So if I click onto this, it takes me into the color widgets app. You can customize little clock widgets however you like. This is the one that I've chosen, and then I've just gotten a little sunset photo from Pinterest and put that as my background. And then another iOS 26 feature is the little icons and changing the colors of them, which if you've seen my previous looks on my iPhone videos, there are actually apps that you previously had to do this with. So I had little colored icons already, but with iOS 26 you can actually do this from your phone. So all you have to do, hold it down, edit your home screen, and you can edit wallpaper, customize, edit pages, add widgets. So to do the little icons, I push customize, and you can actually change the color, if they're solid, if they're glass. So I've chosen clear, but you can also do tinted in whichever color you'd like. So for example, if I wanted to have pink tinted icons, that's what I could do. And you can also do how bright they appear but still have a glass look to them. You can also do default, which is the original app icons, or dark mode, which makes the dark app icons. And on here I just have all the apps that I sort of use frequently displayed. I have like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, etc. But I will get into the apps that I use in my app library. Down the bottom of the first page, I have a little small widget which says Fight for Your Fairy Tale. I really love the words of this. It very much matches my vibe, matches book themed stuff, which is very me. I love reading, I love books. And I've done this using the app Widgetsmith. So in here you can see all my little widgets in the Widgetsmith app, and you can change these up. You can add whatever photo you want. You can do small widgets, medium widgets, large widgets. I've obviously chosen a small widget just for the little bottom corner. And then in the bar down below, I have 4 little apps because I find that when you take those out, it looks kind of weird because it still has the clear bar down the bottom. Moving on to my second home page, we have 4 little widgets in here. The very first one is Spotify. Live for Spotify, die for Spotify. Spotify is my favorite app I probably have. So having it as a little widget, it actually tells you the song I was listening to the most recently on this phone. Apparently the last song I listened to was I Love You, I'm Sorry by Gracie Abrams. So all I have to do is click onto there and it actually takes you into my Spotify and into that playlist. Then the next widget I have is another little Widgetsmith one. It's a small widget and it is lip gloss photo, which I thought matched the vibe. The third one is a small version of my lock screen photo, and the fourth one is actually my reminders app. So in this right now, it tells you things I put as reminders, and it actually, if you click onto it, it'll go into the reminders app. So for mine, I have film what's on my iPhone, which I'm doing right now, and I've also got tax inquiry meetings. I'm trying to sort out my taxes at the moment and get an accountant. And that is the second page of my home screen. And then you scroll across and you get my app library. I do have to say the only thing that I don't like about iOS 26 and the little app icons being able to change is that they come out clear in the app library as well, and they don't actually say what they are. So if I click onto one of these folders, it shows all the app icons. You kind of have to memorize what they are, but it doesn't actually say what they are, which I find to be super inconvenient. Hopefully that's something that they can fix going forward because it gets a little bit confusing. Going into all the apps that I use, I have the suggestions folder, which is things that I've used probably today, and then it has your recently added, which is the apps that you've most recently added to your phone, all displayed in one folder. But then iPhones also organize them all into their own folders anyway. So in my first folder, and the one that I use the most frequently, I have social media. So in this I have my Discord. So I have a Discord server on there. I contact TikTok Live AU and Z on there and everything to do with that. Facebook, which I completely have my notifications turned off for, don't use it. FaceTime, Instagram, which I definitely do use. If I click into my Instagram, it's my Instagram. Give me a follow. I'm really bad about posting. I do post on my story a fair bit if I'm out about and doing things, but I have the tendency to not take that many photos and post them. I do try to post reels, but they don't do that well, so then I sort of give up and stop posting them again. Want to try posting on reels more, maybe not dance videos, maybe other content. So if you have any suggestions for that, please let me know. Next, I have Linktree, which I use for my Instagram bio and my TikTok bio, just to link all of my social media together. iMessage, Messenger, which I don't really use, phone, Snapchat, which I use a fair bit. I actually have a public Snapchat profile, and for some very odd reason I'm verified on there. I do occasionally, when I go out, post my public story like my Instagram. Usually I'll post things on Instagram and Snapchat. I have Telegram, which I used to use to contact the TikTok Live ANZ team. Now I just have one of my friends on there that I message pretty frequently, so I've kept the app on my phone. And then I have TikTok, which I quite obviously use a fair amount. So clicking into my TikTok, here's my profile. I post almost every single day on TikTok. Usually I do dance content, and I also go live on there every single day, twice a day. Moving on to the next folder, we have creativity. So in this I have camera app, Canva, which I use for my thumbnails and editing any little banners, posters I need for a TikTok Live. I don't really like the phone app. I have the tendency to use it on my computer more. CapCut, which I don't use anymore. I have, this is just like the videos. I have DJI, which I have a DJI gimbal. Instagram edits, which I love. I use this over CapCut and I like it more than CapCut. So I use this to do any of my little short form edits. GarageBand, I don't know what that other one is. iMovie, Preview, which lets you preview your Instagram grid so you can see if any photos match your current Instagram grid. I have Lens Buddy, which helps you take self-timer photos if you don't have friends to take photos for you. Lightroom, which I use for all my photo editing. Fonto, which I use for the text for my thumbnails. Photos, and then YouTube Studio, which I use to view all of my YouTube analytics. The next folder we have is entertainment. So in here I have 9Now, which is an Australian TV app, Disney Plus, I don't really know what this one is, Apple Music, Netflix, Prime Video, Rode, because I have a few Rode products, Spotify, which I've already showed you, Apple TV, and YouTube. Going into the next one, we have utilities. So in here I have a MySim, which is my eSIM phone company that I chose when I got the new phone, the App Store, calculator, clock, color widgets, compass, find my iPhone, magnifier, NZ Post, which I actually don't need anymore, so I might just delete that while we're here. I have passkeys, Safari settings, and voice memos. Then the next folder we have is productivity and finance. In here I have 2 degrees, which is my New Zealand phone company, ANZ, which is my New Zealand banking, ATO, which is the tax in Australia. I downloaded this app this morning. I have Australia Post to notify me when I have any packages arriving, calendar, contacts, Google Docs, Google Drive, files, Gmail, Google Calendar I think, and then Google Slides, Keynote, mail, another 2 degrees app. Kind of need to get rid of both of them because I don't need them while I'm not in New Zealand. My ID app, which helps you set up to do a digital ID, but I haven't done that yet because I got really confused when I tried. Phone notes, use my phone notes all the time. I write little things down. I write things to remember. Timestamps of live recordings if I need to go find something. Any social media ideas I have, I put into my phone notes as well. Numbers, pages, PayPal. That app is a document app. I'm not entirely sure what it does. Reminders, wallet, Westpac, which is my Australian banking, Widgetsmith, and Zoom, which I don't really use. Next we have games. So this is my game folder. I have so many games in here because I will always be playing one game. I usually play games while I'm watching TV. Currently I have things like Angry Birds, Clash of Clans, Sudoku. The next folder we have is travel, which has Apple Maps, Uber, Village Roadshow, theme parks, because there's theme parks where I live and it shows you all of the wait times when you're in the parks, and also Airbnb. The next, information and reading, I have weather, Apple Books, I think this is Google Translate, and then also BuzzFeed because I like to do BuzzFeed quizzes every so often. The next folder, shopping and food, has so many apps in it, honestly. I just download random shopping apps, go on there once, doom scroll through there, don't buy anything, and then leave again. So we have Afterpay, Amazon, which I use a lot at the moment, the Apple Store, Beginning Boutique, Cotton On, DoorDash, Glassons, LTK, Mecca, McDonald's, Outcast, Pepper Mayo, Pretty Little Thing, Princess Polly, Sephora, Shop, which gives you notifications whenever you order something online. It gives you delivery dates, and then also Uber Eats, which I use more than I care to admit. And then finally we have the other folder. This has some apps in there that were already in previous folders, so I don't know why they're in here, but we have Addicted, which is another shopping app, Games, GarageBand, iMovie, Keynote, Numbers, Pages, Pinterest is really randomly in here, Apple Intelligence, which I haven't set up, and then also the Documents folder. And then there's also a hidden folder, but I don't know how to work out how to add things into the hidden folder, so it just kind of sits there as a clear bubble at the bottom of my app library. So that was everything on my iPhone 17 Pro. All my little apps, everything that I use, how I've set up my phone with iOS 26. I actually can't get over how pretty this phone looks. I'm looking at the phone case and it makes me love the phone like a whole lot more than I did previously. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe, turn on my post notifications, follow all of my social media, which will be in the description box down below, and give this video a big thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next one.
He's a nice guy, but I'm gonna let him know I don't waver, don't go.